So if you let the body settle, take a few easy breaths and let the feet find the floor if you're on a chair, and the legs or the edges of the feet if you're sitting on a cushion on the ground, and your bottom, your sit bones, underside of the pelvis, however you're arranging yourself on your chair or on a cushion on the floor, or you may be kneeling or sitting against the edge of the bed, whatever. Feel what's underneath you. Feel your contact with cushion, seat, and earth. And then have a subtle sense that the spine is gently ascending. So that rumor of lengthening in the lumbar back. You can think of it as the spine that faces into the body up behind the navel, that kind of area. There's a bit of space in the sides of the waist and the abdomen itself. Even as the rib cage is balanced there above the pelvis, so the shoulders can drop. That sense of ease up behind the heart, into the throat. So the external structure, the neck and the tissue on the side of the throat, the soft tissue at the front. And the inside structures, which you don't need to map or know, but you can kind of sense into the throat area. Again, you might want to yawn or if you need to swallow, just to emphasize the feeling there, the channel. Perhaps a soft sense of the tone, where the skull meets the neck or the neck becomes the skull, that ridge at the back. And just underneath the ears at the back of the jawbone that we play with sometimes. Aspiring towards that kind of buoyancy with the head. Softening across the forehead and around the temples. We'll come to the eyes in a moment, but relaxing the kind of cheekbones beneath the eyes and the body of the cheeks. And around the mouth and the jaw. Simply let the tongue be relaxed within the mouth. And again, if you just relax the tongue, you may find it moves a little upwards towards the roof of the mouth, the tip towards the upper palate behind the top teeth, gently. You just subtly 3 or 5% energize that. You might feel the softening of tone within the front of the throat. And if you slightly bow the head, slightly tilt it down, drop the chin a little, so you just feel the sensation in the back of the neck, just subtly, do less. Can you sense the kind of connection back from the eyes down towards the base of the brain, top of the neck, back of the neck? If you just let the head very lightly play, a little from side to side or a little buoyantly bobbing, as if it was on very gentle, it was a floating buoy on very gentle water. Boy with a O-U-Y. Not the gender. It's just got that little bit of a lightness, like a balloon on a string in a still day. And just feel the relationship between the throat, the neck, the back of the neck and the eyes. Eyes can be open or softly closed. If you're to go the other way and move from the eyes a little, lift the gaze, look a little more intently, you notice the tension creep into the neck. Again, it's subtle. And then if you were to lower the eyes and soften them, perhaps the head changes angle subtly. Notice the tone in the neck. Again, it's subtle. Don't worry if you don't feel anything. It's still alive, I promise. And then if you were to close one eye and look out the other, relax, open both eyes, close the other one. You may have a weaker eye anyway, it's not uncommon. And both. And then either a soft low gaze or closed eyes as you prefer. Can you think of the light? Can imagine a gentle morning light. And if that's not your direct experience right now, you can imagine it. Think of light just meeting the eyelids and the eyes, or the eyelids if you've got them closed. They're a very thin membrane. Just that gentle touch of light. There's a subtle pressure to it. Like a light feather touch on your skin. Light touch. Or light touch of light. Soft touch of light. Perhaps you can also feel it or imagine it on your skin. In the same way you can feel the sun on your skin, you can imagine light on your skin. And can you use that real or imagined sense of the touch of light on the body. As a kind of soother or easer to help you relax. So yes, we're talking about the kind of surface area of the body. The skin's a sensitive organ, obviously. So just imagine you're almost relaxing from the skin inwards. It might be too much to think of the whole body, but you could pick an area or a location, perhaps where there's an ache or a niggle, or just where your mind's gone to. Maybe the abdomen relaxes or the upper back. Perhaps you have a problem hip or shoulder. Let the soft caress of imagined light kind of touch and move inwards, as if the sensation moves in towards the, almost towards the bones, through all the skin and adipose tissue and fascia and muscle, all the various constructs of a physical body. Like sinking into a warm bath or lying in a pool on an autumn evening and slightly floating in the politest possible way. Let yourself be touched and let that feeling sense slowly move through the strata of the form of the body, the various tissues. In the same way we do with the breathing sometimes, let the feeling permeate of real or imagined light. You're perhaps also habituated to an undercurrent of breathing in there, so you don't need to ignore that. That's still a sensation. And let yourself be enveloped and veiled with light. You can ignore the abstractness of it. Just say yes to the feeling. You don't need to compute it or work it out. Now here's the fun bit. What if the luminosity or the feelings almost like a wave meeting the shore and then pull back again? So as well as receiving that touch of light, can you imagine that you're also emanating a little, as if it's mirrored back, or as if the luminosity grows within you, that you then radiate it back out. So a sense of the edges of the body softening into the space around you. Again, like the perhaps haze of a morning light, the shimmering dawn, or like sunlight through slowly parting clouds. And then you can let all the images go and kind of sit in the feeling of spaciousness and ease. Perhaps there's a very subtle current of breath in there too, letting you know you're alive. The body can just rest in a sense of that openness and space, the eyes open or eyes closed. There's nothing to compute or work out. There's no image or instruction to follow. If thoughts come, and they will, let them be. You don't need to push anything away, nor do we need to attract anything or create anything. All the words were just a way of creating a felt state or a experience in the body that we can then just now relax into for a few minutes. And I'll bring you back with my voice. So when you're ready, come back to the sense of the body meeting the cushion or the chair seat or the floor. And the feeling of breathing. Perhaps just allow the eyes to open. Keep a low gaze to begin with. Just take in the shapes and form in front of you. Notice how the mind jumps to labeling and noting and favoring. Maybe lift the gaze a little, just off screen somewhere. Slightly more distant gaze, further afield, at the walls of the room or out the window.